All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
What an amazing week when we come to an end right here. Week number 2 of the NFL. And it just literally ended about a few minutes ago. Russell Wilson threw up a prayer. He said, Lord Heavenly Father, all things holy in Denver Bronco land, please allow one of my Bronco players to catch this ball that I'm about to heave 50 yards in the air. Let them come down with it so we have a chance to not get embarrassed by the Washington Commandos. Please let them catch this ball. And after a few flips and tweaks and bats around, it was a touchdown. Touchdown, Denver. 35-33. It came down to a 2-point conversion to tie with zeros on the clock. And what ended up happening? A pass interference that was not called, and Denver did not complete the pass. And Washington, yes, Washington is now tied for first place with the Eagles and the Cowboys at 2-0. 2-0. And that's how they do it. Denver, once again, is 0-2. Russell Wilson still trying to find the winning ways in Denver. So is Sean Payton. It's apparently still a question mark as to what they need to do in Denver to make this team a winning team. Welcome to the Touchdown Crew After Party. This is Charles. And how you doing, everybody? Welcome to the show. You can go ahead and dial in if you need to, 813-699-5353. Go ahead and hit us on Facebook on the ASAP Sports Network. Also, facebook.com/the.touchdown.crew. As the Touchdown Crew official Facebook page, you can go ahead and like, share, do anything you need to. Unbelievable. George G says that was pass interference, but Denver's defense aced that game. I know what you meant there, George. Yeah, it's just 35 points to Sam freaking Howell. Are you kidding me? 35 points to Sam Howell in Denver. I mean, there's just no excuse for that. None. No excuse for the Cardinals to blow a 20-plus point lead to the New York Trash Bags. Unbelievable. What happened at halftime? I mean, the Giants are a completely different team after the halftime. I literally called them trash with a capital T. I think they went 6 quarters without scoring a point. And then all of a sudden, they blow up for 31 points to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Jay Ness is on suicide watch. Just make sure you check up on him. Make sure he's okay. He had a long walk back from the stadium. The Cardinals go down and they're to the New York Football Giants. Unbelievable. 3 teams, 2-0 in the NFC East. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 2-0 now after beating the Chicago Bears in convincing fashion, by the way. The Bears just seem to have no answers whatsoever. None. N-U-N, none. They need a none right now. There's somebody to pray to. Because honestly, I don't know what's happening there in Chicago. But the Windy City is getting pretty breezy, and it freaking stinks. It really does. It stinks up there in Chicago. They need to clear out the trash. And wherever that trash may be, get it out of there. Chicago stinks. Unbelievable. Anthony Price, doesn't matter if that play was interference. Denver's defense should have stepped up in the second half. Amen. Amen. We're not going to go ahead and say this pass interference made or break the game for the Broncos. We're just saying they had a last chance. It came down to a God help me Hail Mary, a 50-yard heave from Russell Wilson. Yes, he has the arm. It got tipped in the air a couple of times, Bronco player came down with it, touchdown. All 15,000 fans that were left at the stadium that didn't leave went crazy. And that's where we ended up, a 2-point conversion to save their arse. And they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. Something's going to be done in Denver. Something has to be done in Chicago. Both those teams are 0-2. Both those teams have quarterbacks that have been in the system that should know what the hell to do. They should have something. Sean Payton should have brought in a better culture. What's going on? What's going on with those two teams? It's been a big week 2, and we're not done. No, we're not done. We got 3 more games to go. Yeah, 3. The Sunday night game, my Patriots at home against the Dolphins. Then we have Cleveland going up against Pittsburgh. And then we have San Francisco. Also, excuse me, I take that back. San Francisco, that's next week. And then we have the New Orleans Saints. Excuse me. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's okay, though, right? It's okay to get ahead of myself. We have New Orleans and Carolina, Cleveland and Pittsburgh Monday night. Doubleheader Monday night, 7:15 Eastern start time, 8:15 Eastern start time. But let's go over the scores. In Atlanta, the Green Bay Packers. Apparently, Jordan Love is not the Messiah. The Atlanta freaking Falcons go ahead and beat the Green Bay Packers 25-24 thanks to a last-minute field goal to push them from 24-22 to 25-24. Jordan Love, though, let's be honest, though. Jordan Love did play a good game. He played a conservative game, but he did play a good game. So let's go ahead and really quick. Jordan Love, 14-25, 151 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. The running game, fairly decent. A.J. Dillon only carried it 15 times for 55 yards. But the 3 touchdowns were good. Jaden Reed, whoever doesn't have him on your fantasy team, make sure you go ahead and put him in there just until Christian Watson goes ahead and gets healthy. So Jaden Reed, go ahead and make sure you get him on your fantasy team with also another guy from the Rams. I'll go ahead and get to you. Desmond Ridder did a decent job. He did turn the ball over, but Bijan Robinson, 124 yards, no touchdowns. That's okay. But Desmond Ridder threw a touchdown, ran for a touchdown, and that's what made the game right there. The Atlanta Falcons have 13 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, and they go ahead and take the game 25-24. You're forgetting a team in Cincinnati. I don't know if I'm forgetting a team in Cincinnati. Maybe I kind of want to throw that dog a bone and just hopefully they go ahead and I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Cincinnati. Something's going on. They played a whole lot better than they did against Cleveland, I'll tell you that much. Buffalo goes back to their winning ways, getting a win at home 38-10 over Vegas. Josh Allen, once again, goes ahead and leads the team, basically puts the whole team on his back. They scored 38 points. Garoppolo, not playing Garoppolo like football, but Allen is playing Allen like football. 3 touchdowns, 274 passing. He also went ahead and carried it a couple of times, but James Cook finally came out of his shell and sparked for a $123 down there. Gabe Davis, 92 yards and a touchdown on 7 targets. And Kahil Shakir, 1 catch, 11 yards and a touchdown. That was one right there. So the Bills go back to their winning ways, and they're 1-1 right now on the AFC East side of the things. In Cincinnati, Baltimore comes away with a 3-point victory, 27-24 in Cincinnati. I will tell you this, Bengals played a hell of a lot better. They did. But it was too much Lamar. Lamar, 2 touchdowns throwing. He had 54 yards rushing. Gus Edwards did another 62 and a touchdown. Justice Hill, another 41. They had so much running game right there. They had about as many rushing attempts as they had throwing attempts. Very evenly done. Nelson Aguilar came out there, 63 yards and a touchdown. Mark Andrews, 45 and a touchdown. The Bengals go ahead and lose to the Ravens. Burrow, 2 touchdowns, 222. Joe Mixon had a little bit of a run game, 59 yards. I felt they should have gave it to him a little bit more. Burrow throwing it 41 times, way too much. T. Higgins, 2 touchdowns in the game. But Jamar Chase, 5 catches out of 8 targets for only 31 yards. You lock down Chase, you go ahead and you race any type of chance for Cincinnati to get a victory. In Detroit, the Lions, they fall to 1-1, and Seattle goes to 1-1 after an overtime victory in Detroit, 37-31. The Seahawks go ahead and upset the Detroit Lions, which both me and Mike had. Geno Smith, 328 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Kenneth Walker didn't really impress, but he had 2 short touchdowns for that. So thank you very much. That all helped out. For the Lions, Jared Goff, 323 and 3 touchdowns. David Montgomery with a touchdown and 67 yards. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, 102, but no touchdowns. Josh Reynolds got those 2 as well. But the Lions failed to go ahead and close out. Their defense still needs a little bit of work, apparently. In Houston, the Indianapolis Colts go ahead and take care of business 31-20. That's right. 2 rookie quarterbacks starting in this game. Anthony Richardson had to be not carted off, but he had to basically in concussion protocol. He could not finish. So guess what? It's the mustache man, Gardner Minshew, coming in. $171 and a touchdown to close out the game. Zach Moss had a good game, 88 yards rushing for 1 touchdown. And Anthony Richardson had 2 rushing touchdowns. Very good game for Anthony Richardson. Unfortunately, just way too aggressive. But for the Texans, C.J. Stroud, good game, C.J. 384, 2 touchdowns for the rookie. Damian Pierce, not really on his game. Only 31 yards rushing. They need a running game. Devin Singletary did not do it for him. They need to go ahead and get it. But Nico Collins, hey, who is this guy? 146 yards on 9 targets, 1 touchdown. Robert Woods also had 6 for 74, and Tank Hill 7 for 72, and a score. Dalton Schultz also 4 catches as well. But it wasn't enough. The Houston Texans fall 31-20. Not any fault of offense, just unfortunately not able to put it in the end zone. Kind of like how Jacksonville was in the Jaguar City. Duval. Yep, they lost to the Chiefs, but it wasn't a big loss. 17-9, low-scoring affair. Had a bunch of field goals for the Jaguars, bunch of turnovers, and guess what? That just all leads to a sloppy game. Kansas City, nothing to be proud of right there. Patrick Mahomes, 305, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Isaiah Pacheco, he's starting to go ahead and get some carries. Almost 6 yards a carry, 70 yards total. Sky Moore lights it up with 70 yards and a touchdown on a long pass. Justin Watson, 62 yards. Still missing that Travis Kelce, right? Nope. He came alive, 4 catches with a touchdown. And if you basically bottom line is you get Kelce in there, Kelce equals a Chiefs victory. There you go. That's what happens. In Tampa, the Bears go down to the Buccaneers, lose 27-10. Baker Mayfield, who would have thought? He still hasn't thrown an interception yet. 1 touchdown, 317 yards for Baker. Rashard goes ahead and pounds away for 73 and a touchdown. Mike Evans, pay the man. 171 yards on 6 catches and a long touchdown. The Buccaneers take it to Chicago 27-17 in Tampa. Going on in Tennessee, the Titans pull off one against the Chargers. That's right, LA 0-2. They needed overtime, but the Titans win it 27-24. Titans go ahead and on the back of Derrick Henry, 80 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Tannehill ran one in. He also threw for 246 yards, only 4 incompletions out of 24 attempts. So that also was good. Tannehill was smart with the ball, didn't turn it over. Justin Herbert had 305 and 2 touchdowns, but there was no running game. Bad news. Keenan Allen can have all the yards he wants. So can Mike Williams. They almost combined for 200 yards between the two and 2 touchdowns. But unfortunately, you need that running game. And that was basically what all she wrote right there. The Titans win against the Chargers 27-24. In Arizona, oh my God, Jay Ness needs to go ahead and find out what's going on. Let's go. The Cardinals dominating. I had a 20-0 lead at halftime, but guess what? The Giants say, we're coming back. And they did. The Trashmen, they stunk the joint up for 6 quarters, scoring 0.0. And what do? They rack up 31 in the second half, hold the Cardinals to an 8-point marker in that half, and they take the game. They take the game 31-28 on a last-second field goal, a chippy from 34 yards away. The G-men go to 1-1. The Cardinals start with the way we figured, 0-2. In Los Angeles, the Rams trying to go ahead and go to 2-0, trying to shock the world with no Cooper Kupp, but that's okay, because who do they have? They just have a young guy by the name of Pica de Gallo. I don't know what the hell is that. I never heard of this guy before, but whatever. 30-23. San Francisco just too much. San Francisco averaging 30 points a game. 30 last week, 30 this week. It was a closer game. The Rams actually fought really hard, and it was a good game by all means. 30-23. The Rams could not pull it off. San Francisco 2-0, first place in the West in this short season so far. In Dallas, the Cowboys go ahead and take it to the Jets 30-10. Yes, the Jets are who we feared they were without Aaron Rodgers, just a subpar team, and that's what the Dallas Cowboys showed them. The Dallas Cowboys had a good bunch of defensive teams, that defensive plays out there, and they went ahead and made a statement against the Jets at home 30-10. Cowboys pick up the W. They're 2-0. And finally, in Denver, Washington 35-33. Yeah, you heard it. 2-0. The Washington Commanders, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Philadelphia Eagles, all in the NFC East, are 2-0. That's right, 2-0. So let's take a look here. Anthony probably said you're forgetting the team in Cincinnati. Yeah, Cincinnati does not know what's going on over there. I mean, they played better, but still, we don't know what's happening. Josh Sedgwick said, let's go. That's right. We need to let it go. So let's take a look real quickly. If you're going ahead and doing fantasy, let's take a look at the stats. C.J. Stroud. Who? Yeah, him. C.J. Stroud from Houston, 384 yards. He is your team right now. He is your quarterback leader in yards. He had 2 touchdowns, but Kirk Cousins on Thursday, a loss against the Eagles, 364 and 4 touchdowns. He had the best quarterback rating on the top 5. Geno Smith, number 3, Jared Goff, 323, and Daniel Jones of the Giants, 321. Running backs, all you people that have those running backs, DeAndre Swift for Philadelphia, $175 and a touchdown. Bijan Robinson for Atlanta today with the victory over Green Bay, had 124 yards, no touchdowns. James Cook with the win against Vegas, 123 yards. Christian McCaffrey, $116 and a touchdown. And James Conner in the loss against the Giants, he did his job, 106 yards and a touchdown. Receiving leaders, Mike Evans. Pay the damn man. Pay him. What the hell are you waiting for, Tampa Bay? $171 and a touchdown on 6 catches. Justin Jefferson, 11 grabs, 159. No touchdowns. That's okay. Still went ahead and grabbed 11 balls. How about this guy? Puka Nacua. Remember the name until Cooper Kupp comes back. Even remember the name when he does come back. This guy looks like he's the number 2 guy coming into LA. He may be the next great thing in Los Angeles. 15 catches. 15 for 147. Didn't score a touchdown, but you know what? 15 catches. The guy knows how to catch the ball. That's all you need to know. Nico Collins from Houston in the losing attempt in Indianapolis. He got 7 balls for 146 and a touchdown. And finally, CeeDee Lamb, number 5, rounding out the top 5 in Dallas. 143 on 11 catches, no touchdowns as well. Sack leaders, we're going to go ahead and say, defense basically boils down to the team for pretty much. So tonight, it is the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. We got the New England Patriots. Sunday Night Football on NBC. They're playing at Foxborough. Mac Jones coming off an impressive 316-yard game against the Philadelphia Eagles. 3 touchdowns and a pick. So we're going to see if he goes ahead and continues. Tyreek Hill has been running his mouth about, hey, I don't care what the defense is over there in New England. I'm going to embarrass them. I'm going to go ahead and he's basically going to control us. That's what he thinks he's going to do. We'll find out going into tonight. That's an 8:22 kickoff, Sunday Night Football. Right now, I have, of course, the Patriots. I'm rooting for them, but my boys, Coach and Mike, they're picking the Dolphins. So, I mean, listen, nothing against the Dolphins. They're a great team. Trust me. Tua, healthy. He's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the AFC. And right now, as long as Josh Allen doesn't screw up too bad, Tua is number 2. Obviously, Zach Wilson, bottom of the barrel right now. We'll see how that goes. Of course, the Jets losing Aaron Rodgers, you know that's going to hurt them. You know they're not going to be the same team that everybody thought they were. So it's just basically how it is. That's how the NFL works. Now, keep in mind, Joe Burrow. Let's go ahead and face the music now. In the news, Joe Burrow did go ahead and tweak his calf. He did go ahead and tweak his calf in the game against the Ravens. So we're going to see what happens there. The Colts quarterback, Anthony Richardson, he had a concussion in the first half. That's why Gardner Minshew went ahead and came in and closed out the game. We'll keep a look on that. C.J. Stroud had a right shoulder contusion, but right there, everything was looking good okay. So we still see Saquon Barkley had to be helped off the field in the Giant game. Saquon looks like he was very pissed off, slammed his helmet down. Usually when something like that happens, that usually means it's not good. It's an extended period that he's going to be out, possibly the season. That's not good. So when you see a player upset as much as he is, that's going to take a toll. That's going to take a toll on the whole team. And of course, with the Giants, the way they are right now, I don't see the Giants. They don't have enough team weapons, period. And the way they came back against Arizona, I just think Arizona is just that miserable of a team, to be honest with you, to let go of that type of lead. So hopefully for you Giant fans, maybe a pickup in free agency, maybe a trade. But Saquon, after making the money and after giving a bitch fest about how he wasn't paid, well, guess what? You're an injury-prone dude. And guess what? You just got injured again. So we'll see how that plays out for you next time. You're working on a 1-year deal. So you know what? Doesn't look like there's going to be another year deal for the Giants. I mean, honestly, you're injury prone. You're probably out the rest of the season. We'll see what happens. I mean, the Giants are, you pay somebody $40 million to be quarterback per year, and then you wonder where the rest of the money goes. It's just not, it's just not happening. Not happening at all. But anyway, exciting week 2. Coming to an end. A lot of upsets, a lot of shockers, a lot of very, very interesting standings right now. A lot of interesting standings. Let's go ahead and take a look at those standings the way they are right now. Before, of course, we have 2 Monday night football games and Sunday night tonight. Of course, tonight is Miami, New England. Go Patriots. And then we have 2 Monday night games going on. New Orleans at Carolina. And then we have Cleveland at Pittsburgh. So right now, as the standings fit with all the games in session at this time, we have the Jets and Bills at 1-1. Patriots and Dolphins are the opposite spectrum. Dolphins 1-0, Patriots 0-1. We have the Baltimore Ravens sitting pretty at 2-0. They may be joined by Cleveland, or we may have Pittsburgh even things up. We'll see on that, how that goes. In the south of the AFC, everybody's played 2 games. We have the Jaguars, Colts, and Titans all at 1-1. In the West, yes, the Raiders and Chiefs tied at 1-1. Denver and Los Angeles, the Chargers. 0-2 to start. The Chargers 0-2, probably one of the bigger surprises so far in this early season. Another surprise, the Commanders are 2-0, and they're sitting atop with the Eagles and Cowboys right now in the East. All 3 at 2-0. The Giants at 1-1. So no losing record, not even out of the crappy NFC East. Well, they used to be crappy. I think they've grown up a little bit. The Packers and Lions, they're sitting at 1-1. Minnesota and Chicago are at 0-2 to start the season. How about this in the South? We could have a potential 3-way tie as well with teams at 2-0. The Atlanta Falcons start off 2-0. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers start off at 2-0. And yes, it is a real possibility to go ahead and see New Orleans go ahead and pick up the victory and be 2-0. And we'll see how that happens. In the West, we have a clear leader right now. San Francisco 2-0. Rams and Seahawks at 1-1. And the Cardinals, as we expected, at 0-2. So there you go, folks. There is your week 2 recap. Patriots and Dolphins tonight. Tyreek Hill expected to go off on the Patriots, expected to light them up. We're going to go ahead and get to see that game here in about 6 minutes, everybody. 6 minutes. Patriots, Dolphins coming up soon. And then Monday, doubleheader at 7:15. You got one game. You got the New Orleans Saints at Carolina at 7:15 Eastern time. And then at 1 hour later at 8:15, it's Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Can Cleveland go ahead and keep that momentum up that they had against Cincinnati? Can they bring it to Pittsburgh like they did? We'll see. Can New Orleans put together a little bit more of a complete effort, or will Carolina see and shock us all? And, of course, tonight, will we see Mac Jones overtake the Miami Dolphins? Will we see Tyreek Hill go off for some 200 yards? Will we see a blowout? Will we see much of anything surprisingly out of these 3 games? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to watch the games. So listen, from behalf of the Touchdown Crew, I'm Charles. Go ahead, enjoy tonight's game, the Dolphins and the Patriots, and we will see you next Sunday right here on the Touchdown Crew, part of the ASAP Sports Network.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.